Okay, now I'm going to solve pre-quiz 19.2, and I'm going to use matrices, because some people like to use matrices to solve these things. We're going to use Kirchhoff's laws. So the first thing to do for Kirchhoff's laws is to choose what the currents are. We use a little color here. Okay, so our currents are going to be, I'm going to call this guy here, and returning to the battery will be the same current. I'm going to call that I1. This current here is, for lack of a better name, I2. This current here, and also returning this way, is I3. And then we have I4 going down through here is going to be a different current. And we have I5 just that way. Okay, so those are the currents that we're going to choose. And now we can set up some equations. The first equation is going to be the junction equations. Those are the simplest ones, right? So for this junction here, I1 flows in, I2 and I3 flow out. Due to conservation of charge, they have to be the same. What flows in flows out, right? So I2 equals, whoops, we're off to a bad start here. I want to say I1 equals I2 plus I3. Yeah? Okay, that's my first equation. I1 is I2 plus I3. And then the second junction is, of course, here. Right? The current here, these are just, that's a voltmeter. No current flows through voltmeters there, right? Here, current flows there, so I3 becomes I4 and I5, right? Right, so there's another equation, right? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to do our junction, or I'm sorry, not our junction ones, but our loop equations. And I'm just going to start all my loops here and go around and end them all there. You don't have to do that, but I like to do that. It makes me happy, right? So we go here, our first loop is going to go up through the battery, right? And around here and here. This guy's not very adventurous. He's going to come back. Like that, right? Okay. So we end up with 57, right? Minus, and then we got to look up here, 5I1 minus 13I2 minus, and this is I1 again here, right? This is I1. No, man is an I1, but that one is I1, right? So that is 3I1, right? And then we're back to where we started, right? So we went up 57, down 5I1, down 13I2, down 3I1, and now we're back to here. So we're back to 0, right? And then my next loop is going to go this way. I'm going to go here, and this time I'm going to go a little more adventurous, right? I'm going to go and then I'm back, right? Okay, so again, we're going to go up 57, down 5I1. Okay, now we're at I3, right? So we're going to go down 4I3. Okay, and then we're going to go down. I'm just going to combine those guys. 17, right? So minus 17I4. Right, so it's 9 plus 8 is 17. That's I4 minus 11I3 minus 3I1 is 0, right? All right. And then we need one more loop, right? Obviously, we got to visit the 19 ohm resistor. That number 19 is not in any of these things, and we need 5 equations, right? So we're going to go here and just around the outside of the circuit. Right? You got to do a complete loop, and when you do a complete loop, you end up with 0 net change in voltage, right? The voltage from here to here is 0, right? Okay, so let's do this guy. This is going to be up 57, down 5I1, down 4I3. Okay, but now we're going to go out here, right? Down 19I5. And then back, minus 11I3, minus 3I1, and we're back to 0, right? So now we've got to rewrite these equations. We've got to rewrite these equations and put all the I1s and I2s and I3s, all those coefficients below each other. We've almost got it, but not quite, right? So our first equation here, I'm going to rewrite this guy as, and I'm just going to make a little column here, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, yeah, okay. And now I can rewrite those equations. I can say negative I1 plus I2 plus I3 equals 0. Plus 0 plus 0, right, equals 0. So as I've recast this one as negative I1 plus I2 plus I3, right? Because I'm setting up a matrix, is what I'm doing, right? And then this guy here, we don't have any I1 and any I2. And then we've got negative I3, right, plus I4 plus I5 is 0, right? Okay, so I'm just recasting these, and I'm putting the zeros there because it's like 0 times I1 and 0 times I2, right? Okay, and then this guy here, this little guy right here, I'm going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these guys all positive. Right, let's make these guys positive, and then put the 57 over here. Right? Okay, so if you notice, I've got 5I1 and 3I1, so that's 8I1. Right, and then I've got 13I2. And that's about it, right? 5I1, and then there's 0 of these, and 0 of those, and 0 of that, and then that equals 57, right? Let's just double check, right? Yeah, that's right. 8 of I1, right? 13 of I2, and then there's no I3s or I4s or I5s, right? The next one here, this is going to be a little more difficult, right? I'm going to do the same thing. Let's make all these guys positive, right? And then make that 57, right? Get rid of the 57 there, right? Okay, so again we've got 5 and 3I1, that's 8I1. Right? And then I've got, do I have any I2? No. Okay, so I don't have any I2s. And then let's see, I3s, I've got 4 and 11 I3, is that right? 4 and 11 I3, so that's, is that 15 I3s? Let's see. Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake here. Alright, do we have any I4s? Yeah, we do. We do have some I4s. We have 17 I4s. Right, and then any I5s, no. Equals 57, right? Okay, and then this guy, we're going to do the same thing, right? I like to make this positive, 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 positive. Put this guy over there, right? Okay, so again, we've got 8 I1s. We've got 5 and 3, right? So 8 I1s. And no I2s. We didn't go there on that loop, right? We only go there on the first loop. Any I3s? Yeah, we do. We still have 4 and 11, right? So that's 15 I3s. And then we've got I4s. We don't have any I4s. We didn't go that way, right? That loop went to the I5s, right? So plus 19 I5. And then that equals 57. All right, now now we need a little more paper here, right? So we're going to set up a matrix. We're going to solve that equation, that system of equations. This is